How's it going, everyone? It's Ben Foggins, Media Corner, back again with a brand new video for today. Welcome back to another movie review, aka After I Saw. This time for this new episode for this series is going to be my review on the 2023 fantasy adventure film, and this is another live action remake from Disney, and this one is based off the 1953 animated classic, while also being based off the 1904 play, and that is, of course, Peter Pan and Wendy. This is directed by David Lowery, and he also wrote this film along with Toby Holbrook. And as I mentioned before, this is another live-action remake from Disney, and this one's based off the 1953 animated classic Peter Pan. And in this film, we follow the adventures of a boy named Peter Pan, who's played by Alexander Molony, and he is a boy who does not want to grow up. And we see how he recruits three siblings in London, and together they embark on a magical adventure to this enchanted island known as Neverland. So that's pretty much the story of Peter Pan and Wendy. Now, when it comes to the adaptations of Peter Pan that we've had over the years, we've had the 1953 animated movie from Disney, and it is certainly an all-time animated classic. It is one of my all-time favorite animated Disney films, and it is by far my favorite Peter Pan movie that we've had over the years in terms of the adaptations that we've had over the years. And then we've had the live-action Peter Pan movies, like we've had the 1991 movie Hook, starring Dustin Hoffman, the late great Robin Williams, Julia Roberts, and the late great Bob Hoskins, and that was, of course, directed by Steven Spielberg. I really enjoyed that film, and it's certainly a movie that everyone grew up with when they were really young as kids. And then we've had the 2003 live-action remake of Peter Pan that was released by Universal and starring Jason Isaacs. I really enjoyed that film, and yeah, I do think that film was really underrated. And then we've had the 2015 movie Pan, which was like an origin story of Pan, and that was directed by Joe Wright, starring Hugh Jackman. It is by far my least favorite Peter Pan adaptation that we've had so far and all that, because I did not like that movie. So when I heard we were getting another live-action Peter Pan movie and all that, and this one was going to be made by Disney, I was pretty curious and all that, because when it comes to some of the recent live-action remakes that we've had from Disney, there have been a few handful of them that I don't tend to mind that often. And while there still are a few handful of ones I tend to enjoy quite a bit and all that, and while there are a few other live-action remakes that we've had from Disney in recent years that just didn't really appeal to me that much, and yeah, I just didn't really care for them that much. And when it comes to David Lowery as a filmmaker, I think he's a unique filmmaker that's working today. He's crafted some very unique films over the years, such as A Ghost Story, The Green Knight, which is easily my favorite of his movies. And he even did a live-action remake of Disney before, which was back in 2016, in which that was Pete's Dragon, which I remember seeing that in the cinemas when it came out, and I really enjoyed that film. So I was thinking maybe this could work out here, since he was directing another live-action remake from Disney. And this film came out on Disney Plus last year, back in April, but I didn't see this straight away when it came out on Disney Plus, because I did see this movie a few days after it was released on Disney Plus. And so I did watch this film at home on Disney Plus, and after watching this whole movie here, and while the reviews are kind of very, very divided here, like critics are pretty split with the film, but audiences, they just didn't really appreciate this one here. But for me personally, I thought this movie was overall just fine. It was decent here, but the best thing I can say is that I definitely like this one a lot more than Pan here, but I wouldn't necessarily say that I enjoyed this one a lot more than the other adaptations that we've had of Peter Pan over the years. In terms of the direction by David Lowery, I actually thought it was pretty unique here for this movie in terms of the cinematography and the colors, which I really liked that in the film, as well as with its sets and costumes as well in the film. Although when it comes to its story for the film, it just follows the basic story from the original film, the 1953 film and all that, but it tries to be a lot more bigger than that film, where it adds in a little new things and all that, there were parts of it I did like we get to see the perspective of Wendy in the film, and we follow her point of view through her story, as well as with her interactions with Peter Pan in the film as well, which I did like that. But when it comes to the last few minutes of the film, I just felt like it kind of ruined that, because it just felt really sour tasted, where it tries to be different from the original film, but the film itself, it was just like, no, we're going to be doing this in a totally different way here. In which, when I saw that, it just kind of ruined what you've just seen in the film here, like its themes and other things in the film here as well. And when it comes to the performances in the film, like Alexander Molony as Peter Pan, he was pretty good. And Eva Anderson as Wendy, I thought she was pretty good as well. And you got Jim Gaffigan as Mr. Smee, I thought he was good in the film too. And Jude Law himself, he's in the film as, of course, Captain Hook, one of the most iconic villains of Disney history. And I actually thought he wasn't too bad in the film here, although I wouldn't necessarily say he's my favorite Captain Hook in terms of the live-action Peter Pan adaptations that we've had over the years. Because for me personally, my favorite Captain Hook that we've had in live action Peter Pan movies is Dustin Hoffman in Hook, which I did like. I really liked him in that film. But I did like what Jude Law was able to bring out for his version of Captain Hook in the film, where he's kind of like more tamed on being on showcasing his evilness in the film here. And when it comes to the effects in the film, they were just really messy here, from the CGI, which the CGI is really bad here, like for Tinkerbell's flying, which that was really bad. Although the look for the crocodile in the film, I actually thought was not too bad. I actually thought was the best looking CGI and all that. But just everything, just other things that had used CGI in this film here just felt really messy, and yeah, it felt really bad. And even the green screen as well was very, very noticeable here as well. But all in all, Peter Pan and Wendy, I overall thought this was overall a fine live action remake here from Disney. It's certainly nowhere near as good as the original 1953 classic, and it's definitely another live action remake from Disney that I can consider being another very divided one here, alongside some of the other live action remakes that a lot of people are very split with here. But if you're a fan of either the original 1953 animated classic Peter Pan or any other adaptations that we've had of Peter Pan over the years, this one might be one for you. But you have to make your own decision when it comes to this film and all that, since again a lot of people are very split with this one here. So that's pretty much all I'd say about Peter Pan and Wendy. I'm gonna give Peter Pan and Wendy 3 out of 5. Again, as I said, I thought this live action remake was just fine here, and it's certainly nowhere near as good as the original 1953 animated classic. And as I said before, this is definitely another live action remake from Disney that I can consider being very, very divided here, since a lot of people are very split with this one here, alongside some of the other live action remakes that we've had from Disney in recent years here as well. Yeah. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my AK After I Saw review on Peter Pan and Wendy, and let me know what you think of this movie if you have seen this already, or if you just recently checked this out. Did you even enjoy this one, or did you just downright hate this one? As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and this has been Falcon's Media Corner signing off.